At Albatross Customs, we're extending our holiday sale till February 17. The basic KAPPA option available in blue, black, white, olive green with black side trims. The premium model available with a woodland camouflage, night op stealth pattern, an arctic camouflage pattern, and the full custom can be your own design. Tiger Force, Python Patrol, Mad Marauder, you name it. And here are amazing photos from Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. And photos from Dan. Shout out to the two of you. Both are members of the Legion of Valaverse Facebook group. And I want to do another shout out for the Kaptains Korner. He did a review on the KAPPA Canoe. And last but definitely not the least, shout out to Fuller's Figures, another favorite of mine. Check out these two channels out. Subscribe, follow them on Instagram. I'll put the links on the description. Also, check out our masks and helmets. Links to the Albatross Customs Etsy store on the description. I found Tiger Force Outback Selkirk at Target. Pretty miraculous. I never find anything at Target except the occasional peg warmers like the Snake Eyes movie figures and the Crimson Twins. Pretty nice artwork. No file card. Still have the lookup codes. Number 39. We'll skip the unboxing and go straight to the quick review. Straight out of the box, I notice I'm having problems with the legs. It's too tight and it wouldn't bend or move. And I can see stress mark on the left peg. So I'm gonna stop right here and put him on a hot boiling water and work on his articulation. I do that anyways on all my figures regardless. The backpack is pretty nice, pretty bulky. 2 pegs on the side to mount your shovel and your AR-10 pistol. However, I won't recommend it because the way you plug it in, it's going through your trigger guard and hitting the trigger. So totally, yours truly classified designers don't have a concept of accidental discharge or even ruining the trigger. Plus, it defeats the purpose that your pistol already has a sling. Vietnam era GI flashlight. Fulton MX991U. Plain gray plastic, no paint apps, not even the lens. It's an antique. There's lots of modern flashlight like Streamlight, Surefire that are lighter, more brighter, less battery. This used 2 D-cell batteries. Survival knife. It's all gray plastic, no paint apps, no color for the handle or the blade. Feels really cheap, reminds me of Beachhead's green accessories. And let's have a look at the weapons, beginning with this sidearm. This looks like it came from Destiny 2, an Osiris weapon. You could see a cloth fabric wrapped onto the handle. Laser sight under the barrel, attached via 90s style mount. And you know what I'll do with it. I'll cast it into Mount Doom's fire. And here is Outback's main weapon, an AR-10 pistol. Pistol because of the configuration, no stock. Short barrel, AR-10 because look at the magazine, it's thick, straight, looks like it holds 20 rounds, 7.62 by 51mm or 308 and not 5.56 with a curved magazine. It has a 4-end vertical grip, nice, it's got a sling but look at where the slings are mounted. Right by the bayonet lug and on the butt of the weapon where the buffer tube should be. No charging lever. The breech where bullet casings eject out of looks like it's small and the size of 9mm shells. And holy doofus designer Batman! You have an aim-point red dot sight on top of the receiver and you've got another red dot sight on the forend. Looks like a Meprolite red dot. Guys, it's the 20th century. Use Google. It'll take you seconds to get results. You've outdone yourself with the Nerf shotgun from Flint with the break open pump or Destro's pistol with the scope backwards. I suggest go back to the Nerf weapons. Okay, Outback is done with this hot bath. Articulation is improved now. I had to sand inside the contact point. This is a QC problem. I see a lot of YouTubers having the same issue. The joints were pretty stiff. I usually do the hot bath and soap and water on all my figures after I unbox it. Let's look at his paint apps. Missed orange from the shirt. And painted, look at that, the flesh. On his elbow joints and knees have unfinished contact flashes. You know how these pieces are connected to a sprue tree from the injection mold, and the factory takes it apart and assembles them. It just looks cheaply done. The elbow joints, not the same flesh color. You can't see it well here. He's got brown camouflage patterns. And again, it's poorly done. Look at that. The pocket doesn't have any camouflage paints. Same on the other right side leg. It's like on every G.I. Joe figure. They just have splotches on the top of the thigh, splotches here, there, the back. It seems that's the way they do their paint apps. It's just subpar. The tiger emblem is pretty well done. What kind of survivalist would be caught dead wearing a tiger shirt? If you were a survivalist, you'd probably be wearing camouflage pattern shirt, a plate carrier, tourniquet on your pant belt, blood type tape to your knee pads, hydration pack, and those are just the bare minimum. Hair on his forearm are painted, nice watch, and bracelet on the other hand, or is it part of the glove? No paint apps on the holster, the flashlight carrier, the knife sheath, gray belt buckle, and the top strap of his load-bearing gear is painted brown. If I didn't see it at Target shelves, I wouldn't pick him up. And that is my short review of Outback Tiger Force. And I have a package from BBTS. Let's open it up. And it's Zarana! It's another one. And it's another Zarana! Box art continuing with the cartoony images of the character compared to the majority of the earlier waves with a more semi-realistic renderings. Compare it with the first 01 Roadblock and 02 Snake Eyes. So the Zarana, Spirit, Stalker are out of place with the rest of the Classified collection. I don't care much for these cartoony artwork. So Zarana, number 48, still have the lookup codes, no file card, and let's open it up. Backpack, optional hair, commando dagger, M4 knife, and a spare magazine. Alright, let's do our review. Let's take a look at her weapons first. She came with the M4 with a magazine, It's removable. It's sculpted very well, but it's missing accurate details like the charging handle, poor bullet assist. I do like the fact that they mounted the saw weapon underneath the forend, master can opener instead of master key. Poor M4 weapon, so I'm discarding this. Let's take a look at the knife. Nice sheath strapped on her leg. Sykes Fairbairn Commando Dagger, used by famed British commandos during World War II, developed by William Fairbairn of the Hong Kong Municipal Police. On Zarana's file, she's a proficient knife fighter, being a member of the biker gang the Dreadnoks, working for the Cobra organization. I would rather have her equipped with a trench knife with a spiked knuckles. Definitely more cooler for her character. But they went with the Sykes Fairbairn. Pretty iconic. Let's have a look at her head sculpt. Let's remove the default hair and put in the optional original head sculpt from the 3.75 Real American Hero line. This could be a little bit frustrating with the sideburns. It wants to tuck in. This is Hasbro's cheap way of not providing a second set of head. Honestly, I don't like the head sculpt. She kinda looks constipated. I've had both the versions of the Zarana 3.75 figure, and from the file card I always see Sheena Easton as looking like Zarana. So she's naturally gorgeous and would have had a brilliant career in acting. Instead, we get this. Frost the G4 TV Destroyer. Nose and lips are uncanny likeness. And let's take a look at my custom Zarana. So I went with her alternate original hair. Let's have a look at her weapon. I gave her an Action Force M4. I know what your concerns are. You're gonna think customizing and putting together parts for a weapon will be easy to break. I'm gonna tell you, not if it's done properly. I cut off the undersaw from the M4 Classified. I didn't just glue it on, but made a channel that goes on top of the Picatinny rails. Think of it as a jigsaw puzzle. You've gotta have contact points so it'll be sturdy when you glue it. I cut off the flash hider from the Classified, and not just gluing it on, I drilled holes and put a pin. And I also prefer a collapsed stock. A fully extended stock is awkward to pose figures with, especially with bulky vests. Let me show you the proper way to cut and shorten the collapsible stock. I didn't glue it yet, so from the end of the buffer tube and the start of the stock I cut it off. Drill the hole on the stock itself, then just put it on and glue it. That'll make for a very sturdy custom weapon. And of course added a 1-point sling. Glued straps on the back of the backpack. Remove the peg. Let's take off the backpack. I don't believe that single strap could hold the weight of the backpack. Raw backpack strap. Oh shit. Okay, this was the first Zarana I unboxed and I had problems with the arms. Kept on falling off. I'm gonna need to fix this properly. I don't have confidence with Hasbro's return policy. You'd probably get a different figure getting it back. And I didn't like the build of Zarana. She looks too thin. So I modified her chest. You know, because boobies! Of course, I'll show you how I did it. Pull out your Marvel Legends Retro female body. If you don't have platinum silicone, you could use the blue stuff. Microwave a cup of water for 5 minutes. Dunk the blue stuff in. Press it onto your master model. And you've got yourself a quick mold. Leave it on for 20 minutes or so. Then demold. To cast the part, I use resin, or you could even use the plumber's putty. Pour your resin on your mold, or if you're using putty, press it onto your mold. 20 minutes or more, remove your cast. Trim and glue it onto your Zarana body. I use a flesh colorant that I mix with my resin. That's an option if you don't want to paint your mod. And because Zarana's clothing covers the modified chest, it won't interfere with your color change. Front view and side view. And that is my custom Zarana. And here's my custom Sergeant Slaughter with his light tank. Fixed this butterfly articulation. For weapons, he has an Action Force Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum revolver, Gridiron FN Scarlight with MK13 EGLM enhanced grenade launcher module. It has an holographic EOTech sight, removable magazine, added a 2-point sling in the proper position. Painted this BDU trousers with Marpat US Marine Corps pattern. Done away with the jungle boots, so painted it with a desert tan, including the knee pads. Gave him a marine cover with Marpat pattern. Molded snake eyes shoulder pads from his vest. I molded the top part of the Action Force vest with the push-to-talk mic. Base is foam. Added the grenade. Drinking tube from the hydration pack on the back. 3 mag pouches on the front that holds 2 30-round M4 magazines each. That makes 6. On the right is a first aid pouch. On the left is the Action Force radio with antenna. The antenna doesn't impede the butterfly articulation. On his left leg, there's 2 pouches that holds 2 30-round magazines each for a total of 4. There's an additional first aid kit. On his right leg is the holster for the revolver. I gave him a Gridiron M9 bayonet. Added the hydration pack. Gave the Sarge a boonie hat with the same Marpat camo pattern. And also gave him a Gridiron Kevlar helmet. I added the strap, chin strap. It has the molded goggles on top. The blast effect works, but a little bit loose. And I also gave the Sarge a 40mm M32 Milcore grenade launcher. Painted it desert tan with a little bit darker browns. Glued a 2-point sling in its proper position. And that is my custom classified Sergeant Slaughter. I received my Action Force Wave 3 all-female line. My first impression were mostly good, except for the very tight joints on most of them. Swivel arms on some are loose. We'll take a look at them on the next video. Thanks for watching!